Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga for Functional Posture. Our focus today is strengthening the back, the spine, lengthening it up so that we kind of relieve that tendency to bend over forward. You're going to need a yoga strap, and I would like you to grab that right away as we get started, or a belt or a necktie. So the way you hold this yoga strap is all dependent upon the comfort of your shoulders. And if this is not working for you, you don't have to use that yoga strap. But I just want you to give a little tension on it. And when you pull against it, just kind of think, okay, where am I feeling this tightening in my shoulders and the tension? I'd like for you to start to lift and lower that strap any amount that feels okay for your shoulders today. And we can take a breath in as the arms float up and out as you lower, or you could do the opposite. You could breathe out as you bring it up. Nice tension through your abdominals. Nice. So what we're going to do is let this rise up and then bend the elbows and pull it down to the chest. Lift it back up and then lower it down. Let's do an inhale to lift and exhale and inhale and an exhale. One more just to get this kind of in our muscle memory. Great. Okay, we're going to add the lower body. So either feet about hips distance apart, or you can bring them a little closer together, wherever you like to do your chair pose. We'll breathe in, let the strap lift. Breathe out as you pull it to your chest, bend your knees, sit your hips back so you're coming into a little chair or squat. Breathe in as you stand. Then as you breathe out, we're going to hinge forward a little bit from the waist and just lower the strap down in front of us. As you stand back up, breathe in, let the strap rise. Breathe out, chair. Breathe in, straighten up. Breathe out, hinge into a forward fold. I'm going to turn to the side for that view here. So we'll breathe in, bring it up. Breathe out, pull it to the chest. Breathe in and breathe out. Two more. Keeping a little bit of tension on that strap. One more. And then just rise up, let that strap come up. And if it feels okay for you, I want you to bring it back behind the back of your shoulders and hold on to it right here. So what this is going to do is give us a little bit of stabilized position of our arms being back behind us. We're just going to step and twist, side to side. And notice that I'm letting my opposite foot pick up and pivot so that my whole body is moving side to side. I'm unloading the knee so I'm not feeling any torque in my knee, not feeling any torque in my hips. I'm just bringing this into a really nice full body action. There's a little tension on that strap as I'm pulling outward on it. Just moving at your own pace side to side. Let's go a few more times each direction. It actually feels pretty good on the hip flexor too as I pivot around. One more each side. And then as you come in, we're not going to let the lower body move. So you keep your feet planted, they're slightly turned out. Soften your knees a little bit so you're coming into a little bit of a knee bend. Keep your pelvis engaged straight ahead and just twist and twist. So now we're really isolating this into the spine, into the waistline. Now, since we're straight up and down, we don't really have gravity in the right spot to affect the workload much in our back. So I just want you to fire your muscles as you come around, exhaling a couple more times each side. Come back to center, straighten the legs, let your arms raise up. There goes the ponytail. Come back down. Now, I just want you to check in. Was that okay for you to do with the strap? Because some other options are to hold it in front or not to hold it at all and just maybe touch your fingers to your shoulders as we're doing those twists. Because we're going to do that action quite a few times in class today. So let's take your strap, bring your feet back to where you're in your mountain pose position where you like to do a chair. We'll inhale, lift up. Exhale, place the strap wherever you feel comfortable, what we just did. So behind your back's going to be ideal, but make modifications. Now we'll sink this down into chair. I want you to look at my knees. They're not going to do this. They're not going to go side to side. They're staying straight ahead, but we're going to start to twist our body. So now my back is not straight up and down as when I was standing, right? I have a little bit of a forward hinge. So now gravity's in a better spot that when I twist, I'm resisting against gravity a little bit on one side of my obliques. Good. Scoop your abs in. Brace your lower belly. Take breaks if you need to. If you need to do this without the strap, it's not so much about the arms, but this does help us to keep our shoulders open in front with the strap behind the shoulders. Let's do a couple more each side. Come back to center. As you stand up, let the strap come up. Inhale, exhale, and forward fold. Make sure your knees are bent a little bit. Then we'll inhale back up. Exhale, bring it back behind your back. Sit into your chair pose. And we're going to step the right foot forward a little bit. So now we're in a kind of a striding position. So bend both knees, hinge forward. So we're going to imagine maybe we're doing something in the garden. We've got both of our knees bent. We're bracing our core and we have to reach down, maybe pull some weeds up or something like that. And I want you to rotate your body side to side. Okay, so maybe the shoulders are saying, I can't do this strap anymore. Then just put your hands on your hips and turn your body, doing what you can here. Now I want you to keep your eye gaze from moving. So look down maybe 6 or 8 inches in front of your right foot, like you're looking down what you're going to be reaching for. And don't let your head turn. This actually gives you more range of motion through your neck with each rotation. One more each side. Come back to center. As you start to press up out of your legs, lift your arms up and then forward fold. So I've got my chair right here so I can kind of put my hands on top. We are in pyramid. Give yourself a little stretch down the backs of the legs, and this is going to let your shoulders relax. Then bend your knees a little bit. Just stand up and step your feet back together. Let's get ready to do the other side. So we'll inhale to reach. Maybe this time you just put the strap in front of your chest or back behind. Bend your knees. We're in our little chair pose. Then our left foot's going to step forward, right foot back, and they're not too far apart, just about a normal step that you would take. We're hinging forward a little bit with our body, and we're going to start to rotate side to side. So when you twist, I want you to think about pressing down with one side of your rib cage while you're pulling up with the opposite rib cage. Head stays nice and still. So we're getting rotation through our neck. Even though we're not moving our head, we're moving the rest of our spine. Keep those knees bent so you're really feeling some work in your lower body, into your quads, into your glutes. Let's go one more time each direction. Back to center. And then as we push through the feet, we'll straighten up with our body, lifting up with the strap, and then folding forward into pyramid. If you're pretty flexible, your pyramid can be lower down toward the floor with your fingertips or to your blocks. I love to use the chair. Take this wherever it feels great for you. Couple more breaths here. Relax your shoulders. You've been stretching a bit. And then soften the knees. Rise back up. Step your feet back together. Shoulders are back. Then we'll take the strap behind us so we can apply a little pressure, opening up through the shoulder blades. So this is a little bit harder to twist your body, but I want you to bend your knees a little bit like you're in chair, and then rotate your body one side, rotate your body the other. You can open your hands wider on the strap to make this feel comfortable for your shoulders, or maybe not use it at all. Good. And again, make sure that your knees aren't doing this as you do it. So they're right in place. You're just turning through the upper body. Good. One more each side. Come back to center. Rise up through your feet. Release the strap. We can set it off to the side. We'll be coming back to it at a later time. And then just come to a really nice mountain pose. Check in. See how everything's feeling. And then we'll bring our right foot to the front and take our left foot way back behind us into a nice high crescent lunge. So in a high crescent lunge, your back heel is not touching the floor, but that's hard with balance sometimes. So if you want, you can turn your foot out a little bit and press your heel down, make it more of a warrior one. And then we are going to sweep the arms forward with the palms up, but keep your shoulder blades down and lift up on the ball of the back foot. Then turn your palms down and press your back heel down to the floor as you press your arms behind you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, down. Now, depending on range of motion, comfort in your shoulders, you can make this come all the way up and all the way back, or any comfortable range in between. And each time we press back, we're pressing our heel down to the floor, getting a nice calf stretch. Two more reps. One more. Press back, open up the chest. Hold. And then we'll bring the hands just to kind of support here on the thigh. Or if you feel like you want to reach to your chair, it's close enough that you can hold yourself here. We're just going to turn our body to one side toward the front knee side, and then turn our body to the back knee side. Now, this is a lot of balance. So I want you to go really slow. You could do this with the strap behind your shoulders, but it's really challenging. So we'll be here for a little bit. So if you do want to try that strap, give it a go. If you need to bring your feet closer together, less of a stride, that's going to make it easier for your balance as well. Good. Let's take one more each direction. I'm starting to feel the work in the front leg for sure. And then we'll come right back to the center. Just let your palms come to the heart. The back foot's going to step forward. You might need to take a couple little baby steps to get there. Come all the way up. Arms by your side. Take a break. Maybe flesh out the legs a little bit. That front leg is getting a lot of work. All right, let's try the other side. So we are going to take a step back with the right foot way back behind us. The heel is up for high crescent lunge, or we can slightly turn the foot out and press the heel down. Warrior one, a little bit easier to balance. Square your hips straight ahead. Let your arms float up as you lift up off the back heel. Then press the heel down and reach your arms behind you. And then find your range of motion that works for your shoulders here. And I'd like to imagine that you're passing your arms through a viscous fluid, a viscous medium. So not just air, but drag your arms forward like you're dragging them through mud, honey, maple syrup, something that has some viscosity to it. And that'll help your muscles to switch on a little bit more here. One more. Hold it down. Now we can use the hands here to the thigh to help us brace, or have the chair right close by. And we're just going to turn our body toward the bent knee side. Then turn our body toward the open side. You can try that strap either in front of your body or behind your shoulders. You know, it's interesting, when I picked this strap up, it almost made me feel like I had better balance, giving me something to kind of brace against. Now I'm really opening out when I go this direction. That's the open side. When I go this way, not so much. That's the closed side. Doesn't really matter, range of motion. Just do what you can here. A couple more each direction. Once you finish that second one, come back to neutral. We'll just bring the palms to the heart. And then that back foot needs to take a big step forward, maybe a couple steps to get there. Just step up to your mountain. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to work the back a little bit more from this standing position. Chair is in front of you. I'd like you to step your right foot forward. Bring your hands to your chair, just fingertips. Lift your back foot up off the floor. So we're standing in Warrior 3. You can have a little bit of a bend in your knee. And what I'd like you to do is, like one of those little birds that tips and his head dips in the water, is I want you to use the strength of your hamstring and your back to stand up. And then keep that right foot, the one on the floor, as you come down. And you stand up and down. So the right glute is the powerhouse here. It's getting a lot of work, but we're also bracing our back to keep our spine nice and neutral. Let's get about 3 more. Two more. Last one. Then come down into your Warrior 3, holding. Maybe you can release the hands off of the chair. Place them wherever feels comfortable. Heart center. You can reach forward. That's the traditional Warrior 3. You can reach your arms out like an airplane or back behind you. 3 breaths. It's okay if you need to keep a finger on the chair. And then rise up and relax to mountain. How'd that feel? Some good work in that right hip. Let's try the other side. So our left foot's the one in front. Right foot's going to tap to the floor behind us. Reach forward, put your fingers on the chair and lift that leg up. Doesn't have to be high. Maybe a little soft bend in your standing leg. Get your spine really neutral, engage your abs, and then when you're ready, stand up. So it's like a teeter-totter. Your body stays completely straight like a board from the crown of your head, through your shoulder blades, through your tailbone, out through your leg. And the only thing that's moving really is the hip joint through flexion and extension. 3 more. Feeling the work. 2. 1. Then hold your Warrior 3. Line everything up nicely, square off your hips, and then see if you can balance here. Holding. Couple more breaths. And then come up. Ooh. All right, shake off those legs a little bit. Arms by your side, open up through the chest and shoulders. Take a big inhale, sweep up. Exhale, swan dive to forward bend. You can use your chair or the floor for down dog. So we're going to walk our feet back and stretch. Stretch those shoulders open. The chair is so nice because you don't need a lot of pressure on your arms. You can get such a beautiful down dog. On the mat, I'm going to press off of our hands, really push back. Child's pose is always there. If you're up on the hands and feet on the mat, you need to take a little break. Let your heels really drop down to the floor. And then we'll be coming to hands and knees. Take your time. I'm going to bring my little blanket here to cushion the knee replacement. So just drop down to those knees. Nice balance all fours position. If you need to come to the fists for wrist pain or discomfort, it's a wonderful option, or take breaks when you need to. So bring this right hand to touch your shoulder, and then we'll try to rotate and point that elbow up to the ceiling, and then just back down to where we're neutral. So this is kind of a modification of thread the needle, but we're only focusing on the coming up. You can even just fold your arm across your chest, because what we're focusing on is the back of the spine rotating up against gravity. Good, just two more here. And one more, point that elbow up. And then come down. So we'll change hands. Place your right hand down on the floor. Bring your left hand forward, thumb up, come into spinal balance. So your right leg's going to go back. Then using our spine, round your back like a cat and bring your right knee toward your left elbow. And then reach out. If this is a little bit of a struggle to balance, you can just bring the knee in and out, or just the arm in and out. You can also come down onto your forearm if that's bothering you on the wrist. Good, let's get one more of these. And then place the hand and the knee down. Take a break for both hands by walking yourself back to come up on your knees if this feels comfortable for you to be straight up. If you need to take a break from your knees, stand on up and do this standing. So this is our camel pose. I'd like you to take and make two fists and see if you can bring them back on either side of your sacrum. So we'll be pulling our elbows back, tighten your bum muscles, lift your heart, and give yourself a little baby back bend. Now, if you're pretty bendy in your spine, you might be able to tuck your toes under and reach your fingertips back toward your heels and do your camel pose here. Everybody's a little different, so just giving options. Pull your shoulder blades together, lift your heart up. One more breath. All right, if you tucked your toes under, you can flatten them back toward the floor. Reach your hands back down to come to your all fours position. And we'll repeat those two exercises. So we'll put our left fingers on our shoulder. And as we rotate left, we're trying to point the elbow up toward the ceiling. And then come back about to neutral. Really firing those posterior obliques to rotate up and back down. Now you could also do this standing up with your hand on your chair. Would be absolutely fine. Wonderful modification. Let's exhale when we're coming into the twist. Inhale to neutral, 2 more reps. And one more, rotate it up. Strong spine. And as you come back down, we're going to switch hands to relieve that right wrist. So your left hand comes down, your right arm goes forward, your left leg goes back. Reach out really long, like you're stretching a rubber band from your fingertips to your heel. Then we'll round the back like a cat, scoop your abs in as you bring the knee toward the elbow. That's your exhale. And then inhale to reach out. Remember, you can just do the leg. Just bring the knee in and out with both hands on the mat. You can just do the arm. you could do this standing as well. Good, 2 more reps. So we're moving our spine through flexion as we round and back out to neutral, not too much of an arch in your back. 1 more. And then the hand and knee come down. We'll come up to the knees here. Bring the fingertips to the shoulders, or you could use your yoga strap the way we did before, bringing it behind your back or in front of your back. Then we're going to lift the heart a little bit and gently turn from side to side. Now, since your knees are on the mat, you're not going to be able to move your pelvis much because that's going to help lock your pelvis into place. So this is going to keep it into the waistline. You can turn your head with you, or you can keep your head straight forward. That's going to actually give you more movement through your neck. Couple more each side. Come back to center. Inhale. If you have the strap, bring it up. Exhale to child's pose. So reaching those arms out, let your forehead come down. If you're enjoying a little bit more of an active practice, you could pop back up to down dog and give yourself a down dog stretch here, or just take that child's pose. And then take a moment to transition to a seated position. I'm going to use my blanket here to sit on. Have your yoga strap close. If you've been using that with success behind your back, I'm going to give you the option to do that again as well. You could do this in a chair. Would be great, but it's our baby boat pose with some twisting. So again, we can take this yoga strap, just bring it right to the chest and pull the elbows back, or we can bring it up back behind us. And I just want you to lean back a tiny bit and then start this rotation side to side. And I'm trying not to let my knees move, keeping both sits bones pressed into the floor. Pulling back with the back side of the rib cage, pushing forward with the opposite side of the rib cage. So we have that opposing action in our core. Your head can stay forward for more movement through your neck. One more each side. Back to center. Relieve the strap. Bring it down. Straighten out your right leg. Let your left knee open. Sit up tall on your sitting bones. We're going to stretch here. So if you want to use the strap a couple of different ways, depending on if you want to use it to help pull you forward, but we can also use the strap to put it behind the body and extending your arms up and then just leaning your body forward here. So kind of deciding what feels best for you today. Or maybe you can be here a few seconds and then that's starting to bother your shoulder. So then you can reach it forward and pull yourself down here. Just relax that hamstring, low back. Let the left knee just drop open, releasing the hip and the inner thigh. All right, let's bring it up. So we'll come back to our seated position. With the strap, you can take it behind again as well, or you can bring it out here in front of you. Dropping your shoulders down, we'll lean back a little bit and we'll take this to the side and to the side. So maybe your shoulders had enough of being back in this position, and this is going to feel a little bit better for you by this time in class to have the arms in front. And head can turn or head can stay stable. Knees don't move. Pain-free range of motion. One more each side. Come center, pull yourself up. Release the strap for a moment. We'll straighten out the left leg. Let your right knee open. So I'm learning how to be really cautious on this right hip. It doesn't like it too much today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stack my block here and let my leg relax on that. See if I can get that to work. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so we can reach with the strap, pull ourselves forward, or we can bring it behind our back and reach this way. Or any other way that you want. Or need. I guess that's even better. What does your body need? Because sometimes what we need isn't what we want. Or vice versa. Is that true? Yes, I think so. So, but we still get to make the choice. A couple more breaths. All right, bring yourself up. So now we're going to do that twisting, rotating side to side, but on our back. So take a moment to get there. I'd like for you to have maybe your block with you close that you can reach, as well as your yoga strap. So have them both there close. Come on down onto your back with any props that you need. So when we get on our back and we're starting to do some core work here, sometimes the neck is the biggest culprit in, whether we can continue going because our neck gets tired. So I'm going to give you an option to use your yoga strap. It's not going to go behind your neck. It's going to go behind the back of your head. So if you just lift your head up, bring your yoga strap back there, find a spot back there where you can actually let your head relax. And just for a moment, lift your head up and use your arms to hold that 8-pound bowling ball up. And we're just going to crunch up and down. You can also use your fingertips behind your head, but I really do like using the strap or a hand towel to do this. Good. Just 3 more. Lift, lower. 2 more. 1 more. And then come down. You can just leave the strap under the back of your head as you relax. Sometimes your hands are going to get a little tired from holding on to it, or maybe your wrists. Then we're going to take the right knee, bring it up, flex your ankle, and cross the ankle on the top of the thigh. So we're kind of in a little figure 4 position, but the left foot stays on the mat. Reach back for that yoga strap or just fingertips behind the back of the head. And I want you to keep your right elbow on the floor as a fulcrum. And as we lift up, we're going to rotate toward that right side and come down. So just your left shoulder blade is coming up. Your left arm is not pulling. So you're just holding the strap taut, like you're pulling it outward, not like you're pulling it across your body. So keep that elbow out there. Good. Working that rotation of the core. 4, 3. Exhale, 2. And 1. Relax the head down. Release the hands from the strap. Then we are going to pull our knees toward us for a nice figure 4 stretch. You can use your arms to pull in, or you can let your arms relax and use the bottom leg to push the top hip forward or the top knee toward you. And then from this stretch, we're going to do a twist. So the first thing you'll do is bring your left foot back down to be on the floor. Take your elbows, push them down into the floor, and press your shoulder blades down so you feel a nice connection. And then your feet or your knees are going to go to the left. So we're just going to go out across to the left and then bring them back up to the middle. And then across to the left and up to the middle. So when my left foot is on the floor, this is a little bit easier. I'm not going to say it's an easy exercise, but if you want to make it harder, then you'll be lifting your left foot up off the floor and you're going to go across and back up. Either way is fine. 4 more. 3. 2. 1. Okay, set the foot back down, uncross the right ankle. Then we'll bring the left knee, place that foot across the right thigh. Reach back for your yoga strap. Relax your head into it. Your left elbow is going to be on the floor like a fulcrum. And then we'll rotate the right shoulder blade up off the mat as it comes across toward that left knee. And you might say, but gosh, Lisa, I can only come up about an inch. That's okay, because that involves connecting with the muscle. So sometimes it's not about range of motion and how far you can go. It's about, can you get the muscle to switch on and fire correctly with good form. Breathing out as we come up. And 3 more. Remember not to pull that right elbow across your body. Keep it out to the side. 2 more. 1 more. Relax, release the strap. You can stay here as you are, or we can bring those knees up, either using the arms to help or using the bottom leg to push forward the top leg. And then just give yourself that nice relaxing hip stretch. No force. I might have mentioned this last week, but I saw my surgeon and I was telling him about my hip problem, and I do have bone on my right hip. And he just said, don't get into a stretch and then force it. Like if your butterfly stretch, I was telling him my right knee's up a lot higher than my left. He said, don't push it down and don't try to, crank it beyond its regular pain-free range of motion. But he said, just gently try to keep what you have at this point. And I think that's so key that we can insert that in many places in our lives and in our practice. Okay, are you guys ready to do that twist? We're going to brace our elbows down. Your right foot can come back to the floor for kind of that level 1. And we're just going to drop the knees over to the right. Now my yoga block is in the way. And back up. So we go to the right, we get a twist, and then we pull up. And then if you want to challenge yourself a little more, only of course if it feels all right, especially for your lower back, then that foot can be off the floor as we rotate across. And we're really bracing our elbows down, our shoulder blades down into the floor, so we're not moving the chest. It's staying really stable. 3 more. And 2. This feels a lot easier to this side than it did to the other one. 1 more. And then we'll come out of that, uncross the ankles, relax the arms by your side for a moment. And then we'll let the soles of the feet together and the knees come open just in our reclined bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana, our reclined butterfly. We can use the strap again one more time for just a few more crunches here. Or fingertips can come behind the head, and we'll lift up and down. If your core is tired, just hold the stretch and relax there and breathe. Just 4 more. Up. And 3. 2. And 1. And come down. All right, let your knees close together. If you have your yoga strap, your block, so many props to keep track of. So the block is going to go between your knees and brace your elbows down. So with level 1, we're just going to let the knees go to one side and to the other while we're keeping a push in on the yoga block. If you don't have a block, maybe just put a little towel between your knees, but have something to push against. Our higher level 2 is to lift your feet up off the floor, bring your knees really in close to your chest, and go side to side here. Oh, that feels like a nice back massage. Level 3, let your knees come away from you a little bit. So now you're in tabletop. This is going to be the more challenging one as we go side to side. Nice and slow, whatever range of motion works. You don't have to drop your legs all the way to touch the floor on each side. Probably wouldn't be able to anyway without letting the opposite shoulder come off the floor. And it's important that we keep those shoulder blades down. It's kind of funny, but my body's migrating toward my chair. Each time I go side to side, my head is moving off my blanket. So I'm kind of crawling on the mat forward. Let's go 1 more on each side. I'm going to take my blanket with me. And then come to center. And then we'll bring the legs straight up. You can still use your block between your legs and flex and point. Flex and point. And we're pushing in on the block, so we have some connection with our adductors. You can hold behind your legs. You can use your yoga strap to help your legs stay up. And we are pumping that blood and lymphatic fluid from the lower extremities back down the legs, just helping with venous return a little bit. Just 1 more point and flex, then hold a flexion, and let's stay here maybe about 5 breaths. Just keep your toes pulling down toward your kneecaps. I can see the difference right here on my shin from my surgical leg to my non-surgical. I can actually see a nice definition of my tibialis on my right leg, and there's nothing there on the left. I know it's under there, but it's not presenting itself very well. I think I need to do some more flexion on that leg. It'll come back. All right, let's bend those knees. Set your feet down. Again, keep your block. And let's lift your glutes up off the floor. Hold and keep pressing into the block. Tightening those glutes. Tightening your hammies. Shoulder blades are on the floor. Head and neck are relaxed. Just a little bit of isometric work. Not through any movement, just keeping that tension on in the muscles, just stable. A couple more breaths. Then roll your hips back down. Release the block. And let's press ourselves up to a comfortable seat. So we can roll over to a side and press up, or you can do a little roly-poly. Come on up this way. And no special way to sit, just sit the way it's comfortable for you. See, there's that difference in the hip. It's way up here. But that's okay. So maybe if I turn my body like this, I'll look more balanced. All right, let's finish with a side stretch. Lift the right arm, send it over. Oh, you did so many wonderful things for your spine today, so give it a little stretch. And then let's reverse. Oh, feels so great. Releasing the lumbar spine, the lats, the QL. Come to the center. Expand the chest by pulling the arms back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale, press the palms. 2 more. Open out. Breathe in. Maybe look to one side this time. Breathe out. 1 more. Let's look the opposite direction. And close. And we celebrate today our hard work, our dedication to our yoga practice, to our LisaBug community, to the health of our spirit, mind, and body. And the light that resides within me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope it was a fantastic practice for all. If you can stay in chit chat, that would be great. And Jitsi just shut us off. That was so good timing. All right, you guys, if I don't hear from you after class today, have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday of next week. Otherwise, let's see how everybody felt today. Move my chair on over. Oh, yes. Oh, I saw Joanna was with us today. She just bugged out, but I'm going to have to send her a little message. So that was good.